Hi guys, my name is Sandra and I am the aesthetic consultant here in Little Italy for SDBotox, and today we're going to be sharing some tips and tricks for our beautiful brides and grooms. These recommendations can be great for anybody that's going to be a guest at a wedding or just a general overall big event. And now today we have Anne from A. Louise Bridal.
Hi Sandra, thanks for having me here today. So I am here to address some of the concerns that my brides and my grooms have on how to really achieve that perfect glow on their wedding day. So hopefully we can talk about some of the different tools that are available to really get that perfect glow and just to make brides feel great from the inside and the outside. So Crystal, one of the main concerns that my brides have are fine lines and wrinkles. So tell me a little bit about, where they can start if they're about a year out from the wedding. What are some of the things that they can start doing?
I think the most important thing is coming up with a plan. I know a lot of the brides that we see at SDBotox come in, do a complimentary consultation with myself or one of the estheticians to see where they want to be in a year. Particularly with Botox, starting about a year out, kind of getting a feel of what you want for that special day will really make a difference.
Yeah, I imagine particularly for brides maybe that aren't so familiar, with, I guess Botox doesn't maybe last quite as long or isn't quite as dramatic, versus filler that's pretty immediate, and maybe what are some of the concerns, or what are some ways that you would ease brides' minds, if they had any concerns of maybe not being able to show enough emotion on the wedding day? Maybe they have some preconceived notions about what that does to your face, and how would you put them at ease about that?
That's a really good question. So one thing is really all about education, regardless if it's a bride or just a normal person coming off the street. Educating the client and then conservative dosing. Start with a little less than normal, and then you can work your way up to more a desired outcome, so the patients feel a little more comforted knowing that they're going to be eased into a treatment versus going for the gusto.
How quickly does Botox kick in, and how quickly does filler kick in?
So Botox can take up to 2 weeks to work. Generally, you'll start noticing in about 3 to 5 days, 7 to 10 for full effect. So you get that several times a year. So it's really good to find an injector that you trust and can kind of come up with a plan for that. Filler is a little different. Filler is semi-instantaneous. You get that instant gratification, oh look, I look great. However, there is some downtime with filler. Typically I recommend usually about 1 to 2 weeks of just taking care after, just in case there is any bruising or extra swelling.
And then once you get a little bit closer, so let's say a bride has a wedding planned and she doesn't have all that time. Let's say, she's only 3 months out before the wedding. What are some of the things that you would suggest, or what could still be done to kind of help her out?
All things still apply. Of course, it's better to do the long, like a year out, because you kind of get that feel and you have more security going into it. But 3 months is a good time as well. So similar, you come in for a consultation, you can see what you want to do moving forward, and then get on a regimen. 3 months, you're probably not going to need Botox until after the wedding, but most likely if you want to do filler, the same thing, you'll be close to the date. I told you. Sorry.
No, it's good. And what is something that brides should definitely avoid doing, especially close to the wedding date?
I ask my clients not to do anything after a month. So we really want Botox and filler usually about 3 to 4 weeks out, just in case there's any bruising, anything that needs to be corrected. You just don't want to start any new regimens like skincare right before, because you want to be confident going into that last week of your wedding. Nothing's going to be abnormal. You want to feel as good as you possibly can.
So, of course, you know, there's not only brides that are interested in this, there's also grooms perhaps, or other couples that are interested. So would the same things apply in that case as well?
Absolutely. Both brides and grooms should plan their care accordingly. I think for me, I see a lot more grooms coming in, which is exciting because they're taking that special care equally as the brides do. So similar, and I have a lot of couples that come in together to kind of get their Botox and filler, which is really nice for them.
So Audrey, a lot of my brides and grooms ask me, you know, about how to combat skin texture issues and how to get that really perfect wedding day glow. So where would you start if brides and grooms have about a year to go until their wedding date?
Basically, what I would love for my, bride and groom to do is either, bring their skincare in that they already have into their consultation with them, or even a photo of their products would be really, really helpful so I can see where their baseline is. And then from there, we can finesse their skincare regimen so what they're doing at home can only enhance what the treatment we decide to do. We can start with hydrofacials. That really gives a beautiful glow to the skin. It really deep cleanses the skin for them. And you can always do chemical peels. Those do require some downtime, so we would love to have you, coming in on a more routine basis. Basically, we can start with the hydrofacials. You really get an immediate glow with that, a really good deep cleanse. We can always go into the chemical peel route where we're really working on pigmentation, minimizing the pores, and will also help diminish fine lines. So there's so many different routes we can take, and it just depends on, your downtime that you have and the timeline that we're working with. But I really like to execute that it's going to require a series of treatments, and the more we can do prior to the event, the more amazing and healthy and glowy your skin is going to be.
How long should brides and grooms wait between treatments? What's the ideal spacing between the different options that are available?
So ideally, that does vary on the individual. So if we were really trying to correct, whether it be acne, sun damage, things of that nature, we would want you in on a more frequent basis if we can. If you are wanting just to add a little more of like a zhuzh to your routine, then four weeks is usually pretty standard. And if you can't come in that frequently, again, it goes back to your skincare, and what you're using at home is only going to benefit you even further.
Got it. And so let's say a bride is kind of planning a last minute event, or a groom or bridesmaids, something that they want to do a little bit more short term before the wedding. What would you suggest there?
Hydrofacial, it's an all-star player in the game when we are coming up on some deadlines, and it's a quick treatment. So whether you're in a time crunch, we could do it in 30 minutes. We have a 45-minute one. We also have a 60-minute one. So we can really accommodate the busy schedule and get you glowing.
And what are some things that you definitely should not do in the last month before your wedding?
I would say, you really don't want to be introducing your skin to new products or really active products. So it's just really keeping things the same and on point.
What are some of the tips and tricks, like outside of what you would recommend to give healthy skin from the inside as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So diet and exercise is going to be key in your outcome as well. We always like for you to be mindful of your sun exposure, making sure you're wearing your sunscreen. If there's anything we could give you walking out the door, it would be to make sure you're wearing your sunscreen for sure.
And then I'm sure a question that a lot of brides and grooms are dying to have an answer to: what if you have a massive zit in the middle of your face right before your wedding? Is there something that you can do to help with that? Because that is something that no no couple, nobody wants to be faced with on their wedding day.
Yes, absolutely. I work with clients a lot who are, gearing up to be in a wedding. They are the bride or groom in a wedding, so we get them in as frequently as possible. There is a lot of tools I can bring out to really help diminish that, and we can really, eliminate that inflammation and those darn blemishes.
Yes, you can work your emergency skills.
exactly.
Perfect. So are there any ingredients that some people do use in their skincare where you would say, maybe to avoid using those a couple of weeks before they come in for certain treatments, like any, ingredients or actives that don't work so well with some of the treatments that you offer?
Ideally, I would love for those to be very mindful of their sun exposure. We don't want to be working on compromised skin that's been sunburnt. We also don't want patients to be using, really high percentages of a prescription retinol or anything that has, a gritty beaded texture to it. We really want to be mindful and maybe discontinue the use of those types of products even a couple days prior to the treatment. Then that way I can make sure I'm giving them a full benefit.
Does that also include hair removal? Because I've heard that before, that, sometimes you can't do certain treatments if you've just had like a wax or something like that. Just because my esthetician used to say, oh, I can't use retinol on you if you've just like waxed your upper lip or whatever.
When we are dealing with chemical peels, things that have a high percentage of already an exfoliation, we definitely want to be mindful. So that's why the consultation is very helpful, so I can get an understanding of what they are already using and if it's going to interfere with the treatments that we're going to be doing. So.
Got it. And then do you also have products at SDBotox that you can recommend if you see that there's, a gap, or there's anything that you would recommend in terms of a better product for one of your brides or grooms?
Yes, absolutely. We have a outstanding selection of medical grade skincare. It's geared for all types of skin conditions, things like that we're trying to target. So whatever they don't have at home, we can implement new pieces to complete the regimen. Or, a lot of people don't have a base to begin with and they're starting from scratch. So that's where we come into play and make sure they are on board for just getting the best results.
Excellent. What would you say to a bride or groom who has concerns in regards to how injectables work with certain procedures that you perform?
Yes, so the nurse injector, we work very closely together, and whether you're just doing facials or you're just, wanting to do Botox fillers, we really encourage, that they two go hand in hand. We work very cohesively together, because if you have healthy skin, your skin's only going to heal better prior and post filler Botox, things like that. So we always say healthy skin is happy skin. It's only going to prolong your Botox and filler results. So, start with the facial, really gear up the skin. We want to build that resilience to those procedures.
Well, thank you so much for explaining all the different processes and all the different treatments that are available to brides and grooms. I think this has been really helpful, has been really informative, and hopefully has taken a little bit of the uncertainty out, for brides, and so they can make really informed decisions. And it's great to have neighbors next door that really help to make brides and grooms feel their best on their wedding day, and that really helps, a dress makes a bride feel good, but having great skin is also definitely one of those things that will really make you feel just your best on your wedding day. So
thank you for having us, and we look forward to treating all of the brides and grooms that come in, because those pictures will be lasting a lifetime, and we want to make sure that everybody's looking their best.
Here at SDBotox, we offer special pricing and bridal packages. For more information, visit our website at sdbotox.com or stop into the Little Italy location and ask for Sandra.